What it do, what it do, what it do. This is the Don't Stress Success podcast, and I am PThePolitician.
I am Daniel J. Scott.
Daniel J. Motherfucking Scott, man. What's the business, baby? How you feeling today, man?
Oh, man, I'm good. I love this podcast.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, everybody out there, every week I look forward to this shit. Every week I can't wait to see your comments, can't wait to see your questions, can't wait to see your feedback. Man, I love you guys. I love you guys.
Got Daniel J. Scott over here tearing up, man.
I told myself I wasn't going to cry.
Everybody needs a good cry, man. That's what it is, brother.
Real men cry when they need to cry.
Absolutely. And real men wear pink. How about that? I got red on today, so.
Okay.
Nobody really gives a damn what color I got on today. I know, man. It's what it is.
Nah, just it was just new to me. The real men wear pink. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing in my wardrobe. I need to step up my level because right now I'm a beta male.
Right.
Until I get some pink in my wardrobe.
Real talk, man. So listen, man. How was your week, man?
Pretty good, man. I've been so busy. I've been run off my feet. I've been hardly on social media. I think I posted about 5 updates on Facebook this week. I've just been busy. Busy. What's good with you though, man?
Oh man, maintaining, man. Same on this side, man. Just really busy. So every week I've been kind of doing this thing to where I've been just out there in the community trying to meet new people, see what we can come up with. And I think I mentioned this last week, man. I'm just so excited about the new relationships, the new situations that I'm getting in. And it's a great thing, man. Shouts out to Tennille Curry. She's a really dope individual that I just met. And, we'll see where that relationship goes. But that's what it is with me, man. All week long, I'm just out here trying my hardest to make it happen and just really take that effort to make shit pop. Wait a minute. Before we even get started.
Uh-oh.
I got the cuss, y'all.
Uh-oh.
I'm putting in $10 worth of quarters right now. I'm prepaying in the cuss jar.
Prepay. So what's that give you? That gives you, what you put, $10 in?
$10 in there, man.
$10. I think that's what, 10 cuss words.
10 cuss words.
So everybody out there watching, I need you to count. I need you to pay attention because as soon as he hits 11, you need to let us know. Because he can't be putting 10 in the cuss jar, then going 20 and not putting no more in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I want people in the comments to let us know as soon as he hits 11 cuss words, get on him.
That's what it is, man. But yeah, man, I think I am just as excited as you are over this whole podcast, man. I mean, to be able to help people out in the community, to be able to, just have a platform for people, man. So, with that being said, I want to kind of jump into one of the questions that we got. I believe that you put out a post earlier today, or not today, but earlier during the week.
Mm-hmm.
And you were asking people what are some of the things that they struggle with. Just kind of let us know what are the topics that they would like for us to discuss on next week's podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull up that post on Facebook. Give me 1 second. Let me actually get it together here.
Hey, without seeing the context of that, people have just seen a screen that says, "You're gonna die."
Oh, they can't see that one yet. That's for later. They can't see that one yet, man.
Okay.
I'm getting it together though.
Without the context.
Yeah. That does look crazy, right? Yeah, man, you're gonna die. Yo, man. Yo. So when we actually get to that portion of it and they see you're gonna die, that's the realest. Shouts out to Gary V, man. Once again. Shouts out to him, man. But let's go back to. I'm gonna stay to the script, man. Here we go. So earlier this week we put out Daniel J. Scott put out a post that says, "What topics would you like us to discuss on our next podcast?" And Clinton C. Walker says, "Do a debate, paying for showcases / opening for bigger artists versus not doing so." All right. So how do you feel about that, man? Let me throw it your way.
I think it's always a case by case scenario, right? I think that it can benefit you because that artist is going to bring obviously a crowd. It's a draw, you know what I mean? He's going to draw a crowd in. But the thing is are you even ready for that? Like, I remember when I was rapping, right, and I managed to get a show before someone called Skinny Man, which out here at the time was a big name, and so I got this little supporting role. I didn't pay for anything. I just knew the promoter, and I went there, and my shit weren't together. I was just some so and so trying to rap and make a couple of songs or whatever, and I completely bombed. And whether I bombed or not, it just wouldn't have been useful to me because my shit wasn't in order. I'm just some guy on the stage that's in the way of the crowd and the person they came to see, so to speak. Is like, all right, hurry up, get off. We're here for such and such. I think unless you can provide on that platform, whether you're paying or not, it's only going to benefit you if you've got your branding in place, if you've got your catalog, if you've got your system in place. I think a lot of people think it's like some magic beans, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
But you bring up a great point, man, and I kind of want to tag on to what you're saying. So here's the deal. On average, if you have an artist that comes to your city and they're going to do a show and you're able to bring them to the city, they're going to charge you anywhere from like $15,000 to $30,000, just depending on the particular artist that you bring out. I just recently had the pleasure of being involved in the process of seeing what it takes to bring an artist behind the scenes. I think it was back in November. I was involved with the Slick Rick concert. Slick Rick had a concert, and the people who paid to bring him out here invited me to come to the show. Shouts out to Ernie Glover. Shouts out to Quan Rick Productions. And he invited me, and so I got to learn what happens on the back end, how much money it takes to bring these artists out. And I really believe that, number one, when you bring an artist out for the intent of opening up for them, people at the end of the day are only showing up to see that artist. Because at this particular event, you had like 15 people opening up for Slick Rick, and nobody knew who any of them were. Now, granted, they had their fan base that they brought out, and that's the proper way to do it. But for the most part, the crowd really got stupid when Slick Rick came on versus when the people who were opening up for him, not so much. So my question that I'm going to pose to everyone is, with the, I'm going to say, $15,000 to $20,000, $25,000 that it takes to bring this artist out, is there anything else in the universe that you could use that money for to help your brand grow outside of just having clout for the moment and opening up for a larger audience? That's the real question that you've got to ask yourself. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
Because I mean, the way that I look at it, I just kind of feel like, all right, if you've got $15,000 to $25,000 to bring an artist out, yo, you're doing something right. Don't throw that money away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times artists on the independent scene will feel as though they need to have that big name feature to make it happen, man. And I've seen so many people spend money on big name features and nothing happens. Whereas you could have took that same amount of dollars and used it towards building up your own showcase. Because here's the deal. I've seen artists who do it differently. They've blown up without a single feature from a major artist. You know what I mean? So think about it in terms of quality versus quantity, and how much money you're going to have to spend, and whether or not it would be worth it to bring a big name artist out. Because let's keep it real, man. You're only doing that for the moment. Is that something long term? Or I'm going to shout out an artist by the name of 17 the Hog. Now, he paid for a feature with Pimp C. This was when Pimp C was alive. And they actually ended up forming a relationship, and Pimp C signed him to his label. So he finessed his way. I don't want to say finesse, that sounds awful, because he didn't finesse his way. He just built a relationship with Pimp C, and it was well worth the money that he spent for the feature. And as a matter of fact, as the story's told to me, Pimp C actually ended up giving him back his money that he paid for the feature, because the relationship was more important than the money. So if you're in a situation that's similar to that, and you're able to actually network with this person and build a true relationship, not anything that's just for the moment, then make it happen. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. I think everything just boils down to whether or not people are on their shit. If you're on your shit, maybe, a promoter asks, do you want to be on this show for $300 for particular acts? If you know your shit's together, if you know that you can go out there, you can pull the crowd and you can convert it, then it's the same as running a Facebook ad campaign. You know what I mean? Or it's the same as getting paying for a shout out from an influencer. It's the same kind of thing. It's just whether or not you've got what it takes, if you've got the magnetism, if you've got the charisma, if you've got the showmanship, if you've got the etiquette and the presentation that's gonna pull people in off the back of that. I think that if you're just a lyrical, spiritual,
What'd you say? A
lyrical,
miracle.
Yeah,
What?
I missed up the last two words. It's meant to be lyrical, spiritual, miracle, but I said lyrical, spiritual, miracle, or whatever. But if you just got a couple bars and you're just trying to see what happens off this shit, then it's probably a dud investment, man. Just go buy a pack of weed and think about your life, man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, brother. Hey, so on another note, man, I almost cussed, man. I've been saving my cuss words, man.
Yeah, you gotta be conservative.
So let me ask you, man. I got this really cool sound effect. I've got the it didn't work. There we go. The FU button. So when I want to say and I can just press the beat button and does that count? Is that the loophole around? Do I still need to pay money for it?
Man. No. I think you're good, man.
Okay.
I think you're good.
Well then.
I've been stewing in my head on that last topic we were just on about. I was trying to remember who posted something the other day because you mentioned features in what you were just saying. I think it was Adam Williams, A-Code Productions. He shared this post someone posted. Someone's manager was in a conversation with someone and said, I've got this artist and we've got a big collab, but we just aren't getting anywhere with it. And the person asked him, who's your collab? The manager says Drake. So someone's got a Drake collab and they're still stuck. They don't know what to do. They're not gaining traction off this shit with a Drake collab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to, it was just stewing in my head. I was like, wait, who posted that the other day? Someone said something. But yeah, man, it don't matter who's on your track, don't matter who you're on stage with, none of that matters if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't got the vision, if you haven't got the system and everything else in place.
Yeah. And I mean, just kind of what I was saying earlier, man, I just kind of feel like, all right, a collab or bringing an artist out to perform in your city to open up for, I just kind of feel like that's something that is for the moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unless you're able to leverage the situation to build a true relationship with that particular artist you're bringing out, you kind of spending a lot of money for a moment.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. A lot of crazy things been happening in the world this week, man.
That's
a lot of crazy things, man. I debated in my head if I even wanted to share this with anybody because it's just buffoonery. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is buffoonery, okay? And what it is, but you know what? I think we should share it simply because it kind of goes to the topic of thirst and the things that people will do because they're just that thirsty. You know what I mean?
Thirsty as fuck. The line.
Yeah. So apparently, there was this. Oh damn! I gotta learn. Oh wait! Don't read the message. Stop it! Hold on! Stop it!
All about to be on blast, man.
I gotta learn to turn my phone on silent, man, when we're doing the show. Let me handle that right now. But yeah, my apologies.
You got it.
There was an Instagram chick that so you know how you have all these Instagram models, right? And I'm gonna throw it your way while I get it together on the back end, Daniel, and just kind of like, let's just talk about thirst for a moment, because there was an Instagram chick that she's an Instagram model. She invited people to have sex with her, and she put it out in a post. In China, it's a Chinese chick. She ended up getting arrested for it, but I'm gonna throw it your way, man. Go ahead, you're the master staller while I pull it up.
So basically, from what I remember, there was this this Chinese, I don't know if she was Chinese herself, but it was in China, Instagram model. And just because she was thirsty as hell, she wanted controversy. She basically put this post out of her bending over or whatever she was doing, and she said, "Who's coming to have sex with me?" And then put a hotel room number. And
yeah, man, it was. I finally got it again. Let me pull it up. And as a matter of fact, I got it from Vlad TV. And it looks like they took the video down. She put a video out on Instagram to offer free sex. They took the video down. And it reads as follows. Most people have watched or heard of crazy sexual encounters that take place fictionally in pornography and in Hollywood movies. In southern China, one such encounter took place and was all too real for a young web blogger. 19-year-old Miss Yi took to social media to advertise free sex on March 1st. "Who's coming to get me to have sex for free?" she wrote underneath a video of her seductively climbing onto a bed in her underwear. Yi left her room number in the post, and she was staying at the Doubletree Hilton in Sanya, a tourist destination on an island in southern China. Yi left her home in Shanghai on February 26th for the short vacation, and she was forced to leave her room around 10 p.m. after multiple men started knocking on her door. She was escorted to a taxi by hotel staff. She also returned to social media to discourage excited men from visiting her room, but it did not work. About 3,000 men reportedly showed up at the Hilton for Yi after she escaped. Her social media account has thus been deleted, and she was arrested by police for advertising prostitution. She was given a 15-day detention and a 500 yen fine, which is about $79. So, yeah. The stuff I see on social media, man, and it just it caught my attention, and I wanted to bring it to everyone else's attention because it puts me in a state of mind of thirst, man. The things that people are out here trying to do to achieve success, man. And that was why we named this podcast the Don't Stress Success Podcast, man. You ain't got to be out here, stressing, man. Stress will make you do crazy things like invite a bunch of people to have sex with you at a hotel. You know what I mean?
You know what? That is one thirsty bitch, okay? But let's not give everyone else a pass here, because 3,000 virgin ass motherfuckers were just like, better get to the hotel, free sex. You know what I mean?
Man.
There's thirst all around in that story, man.
Yeah, man. All the way.
Don't get me wrong. If I'm walking through, the store and maybe they got some garlic bread free samples, or
yeah,
maybe some little mini hot dogs or some shit that the new brands bringing some stuff out, I'll take a free sample.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I'm on Instagram and I see some girls like, "Oh, come over, free stacks," I'm like, I don't know, like,
hey,
3,000
dudes, man. Listen, how many of y'all can bring 3,000 people to your Facebook post? I bet you none of y'all watching can bring 3,000 people to your Facebook post right now. But she was able to bring 3,000 dudes to her room. That's what it is, man.
You know what I've noticed though is like girls could absolutely, and women of course, could absolutely smash Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and a lot of them do, because there's so many thirsty ass motherfuckers. Like you see girls post pictures, and you got some guys that never spoken to her in their life, like, "You are my sun, you are my earth, you are the most beautiful goddess," and shit. You go, fuck off, you know what I mean? But like, utilize that shit. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of them do. There's a reason they're posting these provocative photos and these provocative statuses and stuff. I'm not saying it's the go-to method. You know what I mean? No one has to lower himself to that shit. But hey, man, all I know is if I had a vagina, I say no more.
But you bring up a good point. There's a DJ, I think she's from Paris. I can't remember where she's from. Really dope DJ, man. She's actually got skills, but she's gorgeous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she put out, I think she did a video one time when she was doing a set, and she started taking her clothes off, right? But she had like on a sweater, and she would just take it off. But she never got down to her underwear. And at the end of her set, she had a piece of paper that says, "I am not an object of your fantasy." It says something to that effect, man. I love how she did that, because she drew the crowd in. Everybody thought that she was going to strip. But then right at the end, when it came down to getting to her underwear, she put up a piece of paper that says, "I am not your fantasy," and ended the broadcast, man. That was dope, man. Salute to her. I wish I could remember her name right now. But it kind of goes into what we're... our theme the last few weeks, man, we've been really bigging up females and women, like the whole women's movement, because for so long, women have been degraded. And a lot of times they feel like this chick that we were just talking about that posted on Instagram, man, they feel like they have to degrade themselves to get attention. And I just really feel like it's a movement going on in this world right now that is saying, no, you ain't got to do that. Listen, I got 4 daughters. I got to kick it with them over the weekend. And I literally all day long, we went to no, we didn't go to movies. We went bowling. And we went to Olive Garden, got something to eat. Went and kicked it with my dad, and I'm just trying to be that person that shows them, hey man, you don't have to be thirsty for the attention that you may have not gotten elsewhere. And I feel like a lot of people who are out here marketing, trying to push their brand, they just feel like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that in order to get the views, the likes, the comments, the shares. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Because at the end of the day, what does any of it mean if you're not even you? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you can put on your act, you can, do what you feel like people want you to do, and blah 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 blah. But then you're sat in this position. Yeah, you might have fame. Yeah, you might have fans. Yeah, you might have money. But then you're just stuck in this character, in this role that you don't want to be. But just, one of yours a bit funny. I was laughing when you said about the DJ woman who was taking her clothes off, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought you were gonna say someone else, because if you Google DJ Eskimo, the same way I used to spell Eskimo, there was a DJ. She's a topless DJ. Yeah, and people always used to message me like, "Oh, are you the topless DJ?"
Right.
Do I look like the fucking topless DJ?
Right.
One, I'm not topless.
Right. Hey, hold on though, because you did do a little shoulder shuffle. You sure you don't want to go ahead and get topless so we can get some more views on this podcast, man? What's good, brother?
Got any theme music, man? I tell you what. Nowadays I've got some titty going on. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh God. So we had another topic, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. This is the part where you get to stall some more for me till I get it together on my end. But it came from Taj Alexander. He wanted to know how to sell and release music. And yeah, man, I just kind of wanted to talk about that. So with that being said, this is a great way to segue into your new book, the Don't Get Mad, Get Motivated book. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
This is coming out very soon. And this question, pretty much, I think, from the excerpts that I've read from it, I think this book will answer Taj Alexander's question very well. So I'm going to let you talk about that for a moment.
100%, man. Well, I feel like sales online with social media nowadays, it's all the story. It's all completely the story. Like, my plan when I finish the book is, tell some stories out of the book, because it's full of stories of stuff I've been through and stuff I've done. I was listening to an interesting podcast, the Ed Milet show, and he had the owner of a brand called Live Fit, and he just really tapped into the culture. He was like targeting skaters who like to work out, And I think that you really need to niche down a lot, right? And you'd be like, right, this is who I want, and you need to tell their story, right? So whether you're aiming for a particular demographic or you're aiming for people like you've really got to build up that story of, you've really got to make people feel like they're a part of it, like their contribution is a part of the process. You know what I mean? And that's just like a broad spectrum of things. But other than that, you just got to have your systems in place, man. You've got to have your social media on point. You've got to have your sales funnels, which we spoke about last week. If you haven't caught that yet, you need to go back and watch it, where we spoke a little bit about sales funnels. You want to just put yourself in this position where you evidently have what other people want, right? And people will pay for that.
Indeed, man. So let's go back to the message that he sent me. This is from Taj Alexander. He says, "Hey fam, I was watching a short clip with you and DJS, Daniel J. Scott, about mixtapes. Do you have any videos focused releasing and..." Guess he meant to say, do you have any videos that are focused on releasing and selling music, right? So I think this is a great opportunity to kind of talk, like to piggyback off of what you just said and some of the things that are addressed in your book. We're in a new age right now, man. This is no longer about your music and what you're able to do as a dope MC or a dope artist, man. We're living in a new age right now to where people want to see your story. People are buying into you versus buying into your music. You know what I mean? Let me show you something. This right here represents a window. So everybody's looking into a window. Either it would be a cell phone or, you know, it's the computer screen. And all people are doing is just peeking inside of your window. I think that you put out a video a couple of years ago about this, Daniel, to where you were saying that all social media is a bunch of people trying to look inside of little mirrors and little windows and to get a real peek of who you are. So the ones who are out here winning are the ones who are successful at showing you a real story on social media inside of that little window that people are looking at, you know, like, and I'm tired of talking about this dude, but he's just such a great example. Tekashi 6ix9ine, man, he's out here making it happen, and I've never even heard any of his music, but I see him on social media all the time. Everybody's talking about this dude, the little Skittle looking rapper, you know what I'm saying? And that's a perfect example. And I'm not saying to be sensationalized. I'm just saying tell your truth, tell your story, and that, my friend, is the answer to your question.
Yeah, I also think there's another side to the question of, you know, the fact that, is music really selling anymore? You know what I mean? Because I think that for a large part, you're not really going to sell your music. And I think people that stay on top of, you know, people who sell music are people like Nipsey Hussle that package, like we spoke about in a previous podcast, where, you know, Nipsey Hussle, if you go on his Facebook page, you'll see that when he released his recent album, he was selling hard copies, but that was coming with a t-shirt, that was coming for, look, he just made these like package 1, package 2, package 3 at different price points, where he's not really selling the music as such, because you can just go and stream the music, you know what I mean? But if you want to sell hard copies, you've got to be selling something with it now, I think. Unless you're like you'll get you a few sales here and there, but a lot of people just aren't going to see the point in buying a mixtape. Why buy a mixtape? Especially if you've got your stuff uploaded on streaming platforms, and if you haven't, then what are you doing anyway?
Yeah, what are you doing, man? And I just think we're in a new world, man. Like, the new mixtape is, I think we spoke about this on the first episode, man. No one buys an actual album unless you're just that hardcore fan. Like my daughter, for example, she's into a lot of boy bands, a lot of One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer. She'll specifically go out to the store to have the hard copy of the album, but she's already got it downloaded, and she'll just preserve the hard copy and just keep it there like as a keepsake, you know what I mean? But for the most part, she will download the songs that she wants and she puts them in a playlist. So that's the new ticket right there, man. That's why artists are really like industry artists are really pushing singles more than they're pushing actual albums and mixtapes. Here's what's happening nowadays. The record labels are giving you a test run when you get your deal. And they might maybe do like 3 singles. And if you can make them 3 singles catch on fire, then they may work their way into an album situation or a mixtape situation. You know what I mean? So, the game has just totally changed, man. And people have just got to realize the structure is all the way different now.
Big time, man. Mm-hmm. It's evolve or go extinct.
Indeed.
At the end of the day, like, don't get me wrong, it's not a case of you're not going to sell any music. You could probably still, pull up in the car, open the boot and sell a few mix CDs, you know what I mean? But you're not going to sell like they did back in the day. And you're not going to make enough money off that shit to really make a difference, you know what I mean? You got to play the game.
I think I accidentally bleeped your curse words just now. I didn't mean to. Nice. That's what it is, man. I want to take a moment, man, and just salute everybody tuned in, man. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're kicking it with us, man, and that means everything, man. Yo, I'm gonna throw it your way, DJ Scott, and tell them about the YouTube channel, man, because we got a lot of cool, exciting things that are in the works coming up.
Yes.
Hit them.
Right. Subscribe to the YouTube, motherfuckers. Subscribe, man. Hey, if you like this, if you enjoy this podcast, the last podcast, any of the clips that you've seen, subscribe to the YouTube. There's going to be a point where that's where we're streaming and that's where we're basing. And we'd hate to lose some people in that transition. So if you're feeling this podcast, type in Don't Stress Success in YouTube. It's easier than giving you a link because, like I said last time, it's all Q WL// and all that shit until we get 500 subscribers and we can name our YouTube youtube.com/ Don't Stress Success. Yeah. So just type Don't Stress Success in, nice and easy. Do it now. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do that shit, man. Hey. Yeah.
But this is the part where I segue over into another topic, right? Mm-hmm. Let me get it together on my end. But apparently it looks like it looks like I done pressed the wrong damn button.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it looks like.
Oh, wow. All right. So apparently it looks like Amazon is about to create checking accounts, right? And I just thought this to be a really fascinating story because we're always talking about marketing, the Don't Stress Success podcast. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about marketing, and I just found this striking. Let me kind of flip over to it real quick. So apparently Amazon looks to create checking account services. It looks like Jeff Bezos, who's the CEO of Amazon, has changed the way America shops, and now he wants to change how it pays for things. With a foray into financial services, Amazon.com Inc. could disrupt the decades-old card payment system, a move that some say could save the retail $250 million a year in swipe fees. And this could be bad news for Visa, MasterCard, and et cetera, and a host of other players. So I thought this was really, really interesting because Amazon is already collecting your data. And I kind of want to back it up and get to the real meat and potatoes of why this struck me, because we're always talking about sales funnels. Daniel, you did a great job last week explaining the sales funnel. So I'm going to throw it your way real quick to just kind of break down in layman's term exactly what a sales funnel is.
It's just a system that you set up, a process that takes a potential customer through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X,
Y, and Z.
I got halfway through and I thought I'm committed now. I may as well just finish it off, you know what I mean? Now I know my age. But yeah, it's just a process, you know what I mean? I think what's important here, what Jeff is doing is he it's one step, man. You go to Amazon and boom, that's it, you know what I mean? Yeah, your bank's there, everything you buy is there. Like, I know everything I buy. Like, if I need something, boom, Amazon straight away. I needed some new gel insoles for my shoes last night. I just went straight on Amazon. You know, when I bought that shit.
So here's something really deep to think about. Going back to sales funnels. So Amazon is already collecting your buying habits. That's their sales funnel. You know, if you go on Amazon, they already have other things to recommend for you to purchase, right? And it's based off of the things that you're searching for currently to purchase. So imagine them having your checking account, and now they're able to keep track of your buying habits. They know that usually on Wednesdays or Thursdays, you're going to the grocery store and you're spending X amount of dollars at the grocery store. So imagine them now advertising to you on Wednesday or Thursday instead of going to that grocery store. Why don't you come to Amazon and buy some of our stuff? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of the world that we're living in right now. I feel like technology is really to the point to where everything is seamless, man. And I think that's where Amazon is trying to take it. And on one hand, it's scary, but then on the other hand, if you look at what they're doing and try to incorporate some of those steps in your own business. Now, I don't expect anybody to go out there and start up a checking account, you know what I mean? Like a checking account service. But if you look at it in detail of what they're doing, all they're doing is collecting information, all right? So if you're an artist, and I want to go back to Taj Alexander's question. He brought up the point of how do you sell music? Well, here's an idea. Start collecting data from the people who are rocking with you, and then you're able to kind of boil down and really pinpoint who your audience is. And then that way, when you have things going on, you're able to market to them and bring them to the party. You know what I mean? And I think that's just what Amazon is trying to do on a huge scale. They're trying to make everything that they got going on seamless. You know what I mean? From you purchasing, from your spending habits to all of that, you know? So I just thought it was interesting, man. I want to bring it to the table.
And I think that's really a trend that's going on right now. These power companies online, they are just they're just globalizing everything. I don't know if that's the right word.
Nah, globalization. You're right, man. They really are.
Where it's just like Facebook. Right, we'll buy Instagram. Okay. Snapchat's doing well. Let's run them into the ground. Let's steal all their shit. Right. Okay. The only one that's left really now is YouTube. Let's start Facebook Watch. And I think that's really a direction the big companies are going in. I think they're giving the bankers a run for their money now. You know what I mean? I think we're really seeing a shift, and I think that the bankers have been these companies, and not even just the companies. If you look at the Bitcoin epidemic that was going on, I know some people are still investing in it, but how big it was and how big of a knock to the banks that is. Now you've got Jeff Bezos that's like, hey, it's because it's probably not going to operate like a bank. It's going to be a completely new thing, just like Elon Musk when he came with PayPal, you know, where they're just offering something different to what's been going on. We're witnessing not only the fastest changes ever. Like I remember being, how old was I? I was about 15 on MSN Messenger. And in the past, well, I'm 28 now, in the past 13 years, the amount of different... When DVD players came out, I was like, what? What? You know what I mean? A flat screen TV, what? Flat screen motherfucking computer monitor. Oh, shit.
Shit, I remember when YouTube came out, I was like, oh, shit, I can watch... Wait, I got 8 more cusses left. Yeah. I was like, yo, when YouTube came out, like, whoa, I could watch TV on the computer now? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Then you got your Netflix. Now you got your Kodi and your Fire Stick and stuff, where you got everything on. it's crazy, man. It's just moving so fast.
Yeah.
And I think that if we don't pay attention, if we don't stay up on what's going on and what's good, I think it's going to be so easy to fall behind. And I feel like that's what a lot of people have done is fall behind. That's a problem that a lot of people who are pushing and moving forward. Because they're promoting like it's 2008, man.
Right. And what's crazy, you just said it, man. They're promoting like it's 2008, and what worked in 2008 is not going to work in the same way in 2018. Right. This world that we're living in is ever so changing at such a rapid pace, man. So going back to that question that Taj Alexander asked, man, like, all right, you got to think bigger than, how can I sell music to my fans? How can I? Nah, man, let me tell you something, man. I think about what Jay-Z did with his latest album, the whole 444 joint, right? Mm-hmm. What he did, and man, it was just so amazing what he did. Now, first and foremost, you couldn't get that 444 album unless you knew somebody that had a copy or you was plugged into Tidal. I happened to have somebody that I knew they got a copy and they gave it to me. You know I remember
you too, but I know it's grateful for that shit.
Yeah, man. And so he's such an innovator to me because he's seeing how this world is changing, man. And I don't even know if he released any physical copies of it. It was all done online. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And not only was it done online, he made it to the point that where the only way you was going to get that album was if you were subscribed to Tidal. You know what I'm saying? And now, granted, Jay-Z can do that because it's Jay-Z. Independent artists are no way, chance in hell you're actually going to limit yourself if you don't make it available on multiple platforms. But I brought that album up to just say that Jay-Z, the way that he's thinking about how to market, how to really capture the moment that we're living in these times, it's an amazing thing. And that's why he's always able to reinvent himself as an artist. He dropped 100%. Reasonable Doubt in 96. And the way that he marketed his album in 96 was nowhere the same way he marketed this last joint in 2017. You know what I'm saying? And the successful artists are always going to be able to keep up with the times. They're going to pay attention to what's going on. It's just like if you're in the streets, man, you got to pay attention, watch the block. You know what I mean? Because the block always watching you. You know, so that's what it is.
That's what I mean, man. But what a lot of people don't understand is they can do the same thing just on a micro level. It ain't got to be Sprint. It ain't got to be Tidal. You ain't got to be Loaded. You know what I mean? It could be that clothing brand over there that's getting, 20, 30 likes a post or whatever. Finding a way to leverage that into, says maybe you make a little deal with, another brand that's at a similar level with you right now, where you're like, right, let's do a little deal where they can get a package for, some of your clothing and some of my whatever for a set price, you know what I mean? And we'll share the money or and just finding ways to, and that's just an example. That's just, I just made that up.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you how you're a genius, because that was a great segue into letting people know, hey. If you want us to wear your brand, I mean, come on. We're right here, baby. You feel what I'm saying? Send us some merch.
I need some hats like this, man. See these dad hat things? I need some hats like this. Hey, man, if it's got your logo on it, I ain't mad. You know what I mean? I will rock your logo. Yeah. Right here. I'm waiting on somebody right now because it'll take some time with postage and packaging or whatever. But when you're ready, man.
Yo, somebody send me a tie with their brand on it, man. I would love to wear that. I wear it during the Don't Stress Success podcast. I wear it on Friday Night Live. Send me a tie with your brand on it. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. For real, man. But that's an example, though. That was a great segue into that because, hey, here we are. You know what I mean? We're trying to help y'all out. You help us out. That's how it works. You heard?
Absolutely, man. I think people gotta stay switched on, man. They gotta stay. There's an opportunity in every conversation, whether it's an opportunity to get the fuck out of there because you don't want to talk to the moron anymore. But there's a maybe there are opportunities to go out there and find something more productive to do. You know what I mean? But there is an opportunity in every second of your day. You could be creating an opportunity. You know what I mean? Whether it's through conversations, whether it's going for a walk somewhere where certain people hang out, you know what I mean, or certain types of people hang out. Hey, just go drive around Silicon Drive, see what you can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Go drive through, Hollywood Boulevard or whatever, or go drive, if you're in the UK, go down to Soho, see who you run into and shit like that, you know what I mean? I was watching listening to a podcast, the Gary Vee podcast, right? I'm so big on podcasts right now. It's just, a lot of it's, I'm learning from it, from what they're saying, but I'm also learning for how to make this a better podcast. But like Gary Vee was talking to this one guy, where the guy was like, I find it hard to stay motivated with keeping content all the time. He's like, why is it always got to be you?
It's easier than ever to pick the perfect bundle from Home Telecom. Just choose your internet
that
speed.
Really sucks.
Pick
you
your
just
video.
Totally got interrupted. My bad. Hold on. Let me get it together. Ooh, that was very rude.
Man. That was pretty, man.
That was rude.
I don't know what it was, but I was listening to the Gary Vee podcast, and the podcast he was interviewing this young kid, or this young kid was just asking him a question, and the kid says like, I'm not always motivated to make content. How do I find the motivation to make content all the time? And Gary Vee's like, why is it always got to be you? He's like, you live in New York. You're here right now in New York. Why aren't you standing out in the street and every fourth person that walk past, why aren't you trying to get some kind of content off them? Why aren't you asking them questions? Why, you know what I mean? And Gary's like, I don't know, this is just an idea, it's whatever, but you know what I mean? There's opportunities all the way around you.
Man, I'm going to get into, so Gary Vee, like we were kind of going through some prep earlier today, and you can see on my screen what's happening, and it just says, you're going to die. Now, I want y'all to keep that in your mind, okay? You're going to die. And I'm going to show you what it is later on. Shouts out to Gary Vee. Salute. That's what it is. Those are 3 very important words that every day that you wake up, you should be thinking about. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
So, but yeah, I'm sorry about that interruption just now, man. I was trying to queue up the next. Yeah, I was trying to queue up the next segment, man.
Because I don't hear that in my head. I was just talking away, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm like, what talk here, P."
Yeah, my apologies, man.
Hey, it's so good, man. Hey,
but I want to jump into this next segment real quick because I think this is huge. All right. So I don't know if you guys keep up with 21 Savage. 21 Savage happens to be one of my guilty pleasures, all right? And this goes back once again to Taj Alexander. I think this is the theme, and even back to C.K. Walker, the question he had. I rock with 21 Savage, not based on his music, but based on him as an individual. I think he's a very savvy business dude, a young savvy business dude, you know what I mean? Hashtag Black Excellence. You know what I mean? I'm seeing how he's moving. And apparently what he is going to be doing is he is not going to wear jewelry anymore. He's not going to purchase jewelry anymore. And so, as a rapper, how's that work out? You're not wearing jewelry anymore. You know what I mean? And I just kind of think it goes back to what Jay-Z has done. Jay-Z dropping that 444 album, he calls out a lot of that because a lot of times, and we can tie in this whole show into this moment because going back to the chick that was so thirsty, I think a lot of times rappers feel like they gotta have a lot of jewelry, they gotta spend a lot of money on cars, things of that nature, but it's not even about that, man. It's about being smart with your investments, so I kind of want to jump into this real quick with 21 Savage, and let's see what's here.
What's up, guys? Frazier here for Complex News. Attention to all major hip-hop jewelers. There's one name you have to cross off the customer list. 21 Savage was just as jewelry obsessed as any other rapper, but in a surprising twist of events, it seems like he's giving up his infatuation with all things diamond, gold, and platinum. The reasoning behind the switch up, 21 apparently wants to be a role model and a good example for younger, up-and-coming rappers, and to show the importance of financial prudence. The update comes from 21's manager Stone Malmezy, who took to Twitter to deliver the very bad news to the jewelry industry. With all the money 21's undoubtedly going to save from not buying ridiculous amounts of diamonds, he's going to do some investing in an array of businesses, properties, and youth startups. It also looks like 21's getting into the whole cryptocurrency craze. If anything, it sounds like 21's getting mature about his wealth and he's playing a long game. 21 Savage no longer wears jewelry. Buying houses, investing in businesses, crypto and youth startups is what he want to make cool for young rappers to do. This is news because 21 has made headlines in the past for splurging on extravagant pieces of jewelry. Last July, TMZ published a story about him copying a custom piece that was a replica of his head, tattoos and all, and a Jason Voorhees mask on the other side. The piece was stuffed with an insane 100 carats of VVS grade natural white diamonds. The $125,000 head replica took the jewelers over at Raffaello & Co. a whole 2 months to craft. 21 and Amber Rose have been known to lovingly ice each other out in the past, but it wouldn't be a big surprise if this mature change in perspective and diversifying of bonds is a result of her influence. The list of things you can learn from older women is endless, apparently. Maybe 21's move into investing will actually inspire other rappers to do the same. But Raffaello, if you have any pieces earmarked for 21 that you don't know what to do with now, just send them my way. That's the news for now, but for all the latest on 21 Savage, subscribe to Complex News on YouTube. For Complex News, I'm Frazier.
Shouts out to Complex News, man. They always keeping us abreast of things, you heard? So, yeah, man, I just really thought that was interesting, man. It seems like he is maturing. One of the things they was just saying, like, does Amber Rose have something to do with his maturity? You know what I mean? You dealing with an older woman. You know what I'm saying?
Man, whenever I think of 21 Savage, I used to think of a completely different image. But now I just see him at that slut rally with Amber Rose holding up the sign saying "I'm a hoe too."
Right.
And ever since then, I feel like, man, 21 Savage.
But I saw him on an episode. So Snoop Dogg has a podcast, and this is what really kind of was like, okay, I can rock with this dude, man. They were just sitting there talking, and one of the things that 21 Savage said that really kind of broke down the industry in so many ways. He was like, Snoop asked him, what type of suggestions would you have for up-and-coming artists who are trying to get in the game? And he just kind of broke it down like, you know what? The game kind of chooses you. You know what I'm saying? The people who want to rock with you are going to rock with you. And there's nothing that you can really do to change that. And he was saying how there's so many people out there who are doing music, who are doing their thing, but if the people don't choose you, then you're never going to make it. And the people just so happen to choose him, you know? And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a very deep introspect into a young man's mind, because that's really what it boils down to. So what are the things that you're doing to get the people to choose you, you know? That's the question that you got to always ask yourself. And then, you know, I see him making this move right here. Yo, that's the wise move. So in a young age, man, even though his music, you know, you can debate it or whatever, but once again, it's not about the music anymore, man. It's about seeing people through these little windows, man. You know what I mean? I'm seeing 21 Savage through a little window, and he's giving me the pieces that I can relate to outside of his music. You feel me? So, salute to 21, man. That's how I feel.
I like that though. I like the idea that, you know, the people are gonna choose you. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing to make people? And I'm just curious, for everybody who's listening in right now or watching, what made you choose to listen or watch the podcast today? Drop a comment below. What made you listen? Because the more we know, the more we can do, the more we can make the effort to do the things that you want to see and talk about the topics you want to see. And we want submissions all the time, not just when we ask. You know what I mean? We want questions from you guys. We want topics from you guys, whether you do in the comments now, whether you comment later, whether you inbox one of us or hit up one of us, hit up the page, hit us up on YouTube, wherever you are, whenever you are, and you feel like asking us a question or giving us a topic, please do so. It's going to make it a lot easier to make episodes because it's for you guys. You know what I mean? We're sat here talking to you for you. So we want to know exactly what it is that's going to make you be more plugged into this podcast and take more interest and learn more, take away more from it.
Salute to everybody tuned in, man. Real talk.
So there we go.
Y'all got him teary-eyed again, man. That's what it is.
Oh shit.
So you know what's crazy, man? Look what I found. Can you tell what this is? For those who are only listening, I am holding up a 1999 cell phone.
Oh shit.
Look at that. They didn't even have these when you was alive, huh? When you were born.
Oh, no, I was born in I was 89. Born
89?
in 89. Yeah.
So
I'd have been young.
I'm gonna put the two side by side. So I got a smartphone. Hold on, let me get it together.
Was it 99?
Yeah, I think it was 99, right?
I was 11 then.
So I've got a smartphone right here in my left hand, and I've got this old school ass cell phone in my other hand, you know? And it just kind of brings something to think about, you know what I mean? We went all the way from here to smartphones in about 15 years. And can you imagine the brain power that it took to be able to build that? Like, if you're in the cell phone industry, man, what it took to be able to make that grow. Because it's so easy to get stagnant with what you're doing. And you have a hard time challenging yourself to take it to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. But you know what? If you never took it to the next level, we would have still been here with these like this shit. It looks like a brick. You feel me? It really looks like a brick.
Because you know what, some people are working on the future today. You know what I mean? And some people are just working on today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And really, people who are gonna push past and push boundaries and create new things and change the world, they're working on the future today.
Yeah. I think that was key what you just said, man. Don't work on today. Work on the future today. And I think that's a great segue into what we're about to get into, because this whole show we've been talking about Gary Vee and what he said about how you're gonna die. You know what I mean? And it's just facts, man. That is one thing that is guaranteed to each and every one of us, is that you're gonna die, right? So I'm gonna just put it out there. Guess what? You're gonna die. That's what Daniel J. Scott was looking at earlier. Like, he could see what all is going on behind the scenes, and I just happen to have this pulled up. But boom, you're gonna die.
I was just there, and I thought we had literally just introduced the podcast, and we were just about to get into a topic, and that popped up, and I just thought, without the context, because I thought you guys could see it, but it's only me and P that can see it. But I thought you guys saw it, and I thought, whoa. I mean, without seeing context, P is just, you know, just told everyone they're gonna die for no damn reason.
But I just want to go ahead and put this out there that you're gonna die. So the question is, what are you gonna do in between now and then? If you think about a tombstone, on your tombstone, it's gonna say that you were born in 19 something. There's gonna be a dash, and then there's gonna be the day that you died. The dash is the only thing that matters in between. You understand what I'm saying? Shouts out to Daniel J. Scott, man. Talk to the people before we sign off.
Shout out to PThePolitician, my friend, my brother, my homie. Shout out everybody listening in. You are the real MVPs. Like I said, we want your questions. We want your topics. We want your merch. We want you to subscribe us on YouTube. And that's just the little things we're asking for. You know what I mean? We're not asking for a lot.
Indeed.
What we're willing to give you in exchange for these things is our time, our study, our dedication, and our work ethic. We're willing to give you that in exchange for these little things. So even if it's just the subscribe on YouTube, we appreciate that. We will up it. We will do more. We will do, if you want to send in your merch, we will tell people what we are wearing, who they can get it from, etc., etc. So just these little things. We want to help you. We wouldn't have this podcast if we didn't want to help you, and that's what this is all about. The topics we talk about are to help you. We're here to help. So we're just asking.
That's what it is, man. We need them subs. That's what it do. But we're going to go ahead and sign off with the wisdom of Gary V. Let's see what it's hitting for.
Peace and love.
You're going to die, by the way.
You're gonna die.
Life's getting weird.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Three words to give me inspiration for any day I'm feeling down.
3 words.
3 words.
You're gonna die. Yeah, that's inspiration.
Do something about it.
Do something about it.
Fucking love you.
I love you too. Take care. Ready? Life's getting weird.